is what I'm going to say. Enough with the politics on this. Enough with the politics. I don't understand why this has gotten so political. This is a community that is suffering. This is not about politics. This is about addressing their needs, their concerns. That's what this should be about. So I don't care about the politics. What I care about is caring for them. What I care about is figuring out how this happened. And what I care about, and the NTSB cares about, is getting to what would prevent this from reoccurring.
Oh, by the way, he placed someone with deep ties to the chemical industry in charge of the EPA's Chemical Safety Office. That's who you voted for in that district. Donald Trump, who reduces all safety. He did in those days.
That's who you voted for in that district.
Joyless Behar's comments on The View is typical of the radical left, where the value they place on life is based on one's political views, is based on whether or not you agree with them on everything. And it doesn't matter if you're black, white, rich or poor. 1 minute Black Lives Matter, the next a black conservative is killed and you barely hear anything from them. Another thing they do is they never let a good tragedy go to waste. If they can spin it and somehow use it to blame Trump, that's what their concern is, more so than the people who are dealing with this situation. If they can use it to score political points, that becomes their priority. And I do see that with the radical left. And it's really disheartening because it's putting a value on people's lives, it's putting a value on people's health and safety based on who they voted for, whether they voted the same as you or not. And what happened in East Palestine, yes, it can happen anywhere. Any of our towns along our railway tracks. And it's not just East Palestine that is potentially affected by this. It may affect other neighbouring cities and towns. Anywhere where the water supply is affected by those rivers that run through East Palestine. And again, on The View, they spoke about Trump putting his name on the water. Never mind the fact that he actually went there, unlike the president. And apparently, you know, fancy hotels, they had their name on the water. It's no big deal. So, you know, this was water from his hotel. Well, they're more concerned about that. They spoke more about that than the fact that these people don't have water that they can trust.
But Trump's visit to this place included some product placement of his Trump water.
Yeah.
And a visit to the local McDonald's. Let's watch the clip and then talk.
What's your specialty today?
How are you today? Nice to meet you.
Hello, everybody. That's a nice, beautiful-looking group of people. So I know this menu better than you do, okay? I probably know it better than anybody in here.
That was
So any
McDonald's.
opportunity to push his brand.
But anyone bringing water, I don't care if it says Trump on it, if it's gold layered, like they need clean water. And so at that moment, I'll say, bring whatever you have to get these people what they need.
It felt very Hurricane Maria paper towels to me.
Well, at least it didn't throw them. But wait, let me wait.
And the people of East Palestine were told that it was safe to go home and that the water is safe to drink. Why aren't they discussing that? I'm telling you, this Trump derangement syndrome has robbed people of their compassion. It has robbed people of their ability to think. It has robbed people of their ability to think with reason. So we had the White House responding to Trump after he criticised Pete Buttigieg, the transport secretary, saying, congressional Republicans and former Trump administration officials owe East Palestine an apology for selling them out to rail industry lobbyists when they dismantled Obama-Biden rail safety protections, as well as EPA powers to rapidly contain spills, White House spokesperson Andrew Bates said in a statement to USA Today. And that's another thing. We forget that Biden was friggin' vice president. He was well aware of this then. If that's something that was really a concern to him, he's had 2 years to put these regulations back. And they make these claims without any proof, without any evidence that this would have prevented this disaster. And then the NTSB, Jennifer Homendy, basically rebutted that. She said, the brake rule would not have prevented the East Palestine derailment because it was proposed for high-hazard flammable trains carrying 20 or more loaded tank cars. The train that derailed did not meet that threshold. She reposted the rule on Twitter with the caption, the ECP braking rule would have applied only to high-hazard flammable trains. The train that derailed in East Palestine was a mixed freight train, containing only 3 Placarded Class 3 flammable liquid cars.
I
big in
think
some
this is
communities.
Donald Trump's fault.
Well, I mean, that's
The
called
fault-
chutzpah.
I think it's
It's his
not
fault,
his
and then he
fault,
shows
yeah.
up.
So there you go. They never wait for the facts to come out, but they will push and push a certain narrative to persuade people like us before the facts are known in regards to this situation. I'm so glad this CNN guest called out joyless Behar. When she said what she said, to the audience credit, they gasped. They were so shocked by her heartless words.
Why they
that
would
they're in
ever
this
vote for
trouble
him
because
for
of the Trump
somebody
administration?
who, by the way, he placed someone with deep ties to the chemical industry in charge of the EPA's Chemical Safety Office. That's who you voted for in that district. Donald Trump, who reduces all safety. He
Yeah,
did
just
in
like
those
Showed
days.
up at
For the neoliberals who say that the residents of that area deserve what they are getting because they voted for President Donald J. Trump, it is abhorrent. This is about poverty. This is about poor working class white people who are enduring some of the same things that poor working class black people endure, whether it's Flint, Cleveland, or Jackson, Mississippi. And so I want to lay it out. The cultist behavior in politics right now, it is a sin and a shame that when people are suffering to this magnitude, you got people who will fix their mouths, to quote my grandmother, to say that they are getting what they deserve. What they deserve is clean air, clean food, clean water. They deserve relief, both in the short term and also in the long term.
These people are going through this right now. And again, they're using the situation for political point scoring. Rather than doing something about this, everybody should be outraged, whichever part of the political spectrum you fall on. Every fellow American should be outraged by this because these people have been left to deal with this disaster. They haven't been evacuated. They've been left there, to deal with the toxic chemicals and the consequences of being exposed to these chemicals. Not just adults, but children, pregnant women. And everyone's more concerned about politics. So I'm glad that this had to be said because I can't believe we live in a society where pushing your political views is more important than the lives of people, where we place value on life, value on safety, on well-being of people based on their politics. These people have their reasons for who they vote for, just like Joyless has her reasons for who she votes for and who she pushes along the political line. She's being paid though, that's the difference. And nobody should be punished for their political views or be left along the wayside because of their political views. These are fellow Americans, they pay their taxes, not even to mention that their houses are now worthless. No way they're going to be able to sell their houses. No way they're going to be able to just pick up and leave and start a new life somewhere else. That takes a hell of a lot of money and resources. And most of them are not going to be in a position to do that. A lot more stories have been coming out now of animals dying randomly, being found dead, and people having more symptoms manifesting. So this is serious. And like this, that woman rightly said, this is like Flint and all these other situations where people have been where people have been poisoned. And that's unacceptable. And this is the time where really politics should be put aside. This is the time when politics should be put aside. This should actually unite people so that the whole country can support the people of East Palestine. And, if it happens somewhere else, this is the time where people should really come together in supporting these people. And we can learn lessons, of course. Of course, everything Trump did wasn't perfect. This administration needs to admit to the mistakes that they made too and be held accountable rather than pointing every finger at Trump as if Trump is still in power. I keep saying this. They will not stop talking. All they have to offer is that they're not Trump. We got Trump out. And that's it. That's all they care about. And we're supposed to be grateful for that they're not Trump. That's your lot. Be thankful we're not Trump. That's all they have to offer. And they deflect and point everything back to him.
Both information and misinformation injected into this situation, none of which is to the benefit of the community when it comes to that misinformation. So I lost my train of thought.
So let's hold our politicians accountable, but also let's remember to be compassionate to people regardless of their political views. Anyway, I hope the people of East Palestine continue to get the help that they need and are able to get out of this situation. They need support at this time. And my heart again goes out to them and I wish them all the best. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts below and I'll see you in the next video, and take care of yourselves.